Hello everyone. I thought I would talk to you about the frustration of sleep deprivation because I don't know if there's anything else that has hindered my ability to write, to create, to do all sorts of things. And I have suffered from at times insomnia, anxiety. I wouldn't say chronic insomnia per se, but whenever I'm in situations that are highly stressful, I often have trouble sleeping. And as some of you might know, I have adopted a new puppy, which is keeping me awake. And and I've been operating on really just 4 to 6 hours of sleep most times. And of course, I'm lucky, consider myself lucky to even get that because, of course, as you know, with a puppy, there are nighttime awakenings, in the middle of the night where they wake you up and you have to take them to pee and all of that. And I've been lucky that I've been falling asleep relatively quickly after those awakenings, but I keep fearing that there will be a time where I wake up and I won't be able to fall back asleep, and that will make my ability to function the next day even worse. And I've always though had I've never liked sleep deprivation though, because it makes me, of course, my emotions more unstable. Like if you were to ask me like a funny story, I mean not a funny, if you were to tell me a sad story, and I'm while I'm sleep deprived, I'm more likely to cry or something and say, oh, that's so horrible. But if I were not sleep deprived, I might just say, oh, that's a sad story. That's because I'm much more emotional, much more irritable, much more on edge. My anxiety is heightened to the point where I keep having this fear that something terrible is going to happen. It's kind of an irrational fear. It's just a fear that and I don't like for example, when it comes to dealing with my puppy, I keep fearing that I will become I will have so much brain fog and I will lack the ability to concentrate. Therefore, something may happen to him as a result of that because I can't concentrate. That happened kind of this morning when he made a mess that I probably could have prevented if I had been paying more attention. But I was kind of going through a brain fog. And anyway, it's that sort of thing that and also I've also struggled with sleep deprivation while working on my writing and things of that nature, especially when I try to finish a book. I can suffer from sleep deprivation because I'm worried that I won't be able to finish the book properly, and therefore that can cause insomnia, the stress of trying to complete a book and get the wording right. That's another thing I don't like about sleep deprivation, is that it makes my ability to it hinders my ability to articulate and to think. And as someone who likes to think and who likes to deal with words, that can be very frightening for me because it feels like there's like a weight like pressing down on my brain and my thoughts, and it can be very disconcerting that way. And so I struggle with anxiety and insomnia anyway, but this puppy situation is making it even worse. And so it's this kind of part of it is rational, part of it is irrational, but it's this fear and that kind of, and this anxiety that kind of just hinders my ability to think and to concentrate. And I used to be able to solve this partially by adopting what you might call CBI techniques, where you say things like think to yourself, well, insomnia isn't that big of a deal, you can survive it, which that can be a rational point of view to have if I don't really have to do anything important the next day. But it's one of those things where I can often solve it when it comes to my writing, not always though, by saying, well, it's not like I'm gonna die or something. But when you have a lot of responsibility, looking after another life, it's hard for me to say to myself, well, it doesn't matter. And so those techniques haven't been as helpful in this situation. But insomnia and sleep deprivation, can hinder, you know, a writer's ability to think and concentrate, and writers, you know, pride themselves on being able to think and concentrate, which is why I think certain writers fear it so much. And I don't know really why I made this video. I just did it to vent, you know, to get something off my chest, because I've been thinking about it recently. So thank you for listening.